Hey everyone's Jackal Wolf back in Feed the Beasts Infernal Mod Pack with another tutorial Let's Play video. Last episode we went over the basics of starting the pack and covered a few of the initial quests. This episode, what I want to do is I actually want to go back to the first real quest that we did, which is the It's All Uphill From Here. The reason for that is one of the rewards that we got from this was this Infernal Effigy, and it gave us 4 different options for a starter structure. Now, for my tutorial series, I picked that Cozy Cottage deployable starter because it was sort of the less invasive or the less likely to kind of give me a little bit of a leg up. For this episode, though, I thought it would be a good opportunity to go over all 4 of these starters. That way you've got the most information available when you make the choice for yourself. But before we get started, now would be a great time to click on that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way you're alerted every time I post a new video to my channel. Also, if you're enjoying this content and you want to support, click on the join button down below. Check out all the perks that are available to my community members. Alternately, you can check out my Patreon page. There's a link down below in the description. But enough about that. Let's get back to the video. Now, to complete this test, what we got to do is we got to get ourselves 4 flint. So there we go. We've now got that flint, and we can go claim that reward. So I'm going to place these in the order of least useful to most useful, at least in my own opinion, and we'll kind of go over some of the differences between each of the builds. So in my opinion, the least useful is going to be the Cozy Cottage. Now, like we did before in the tutorial, we're going to take this starter, we're going to go right click on the world. It brings up a little bit of a preview of the build. If we left click it, we can go do some rotation, and it does time out after a few seconds. Not a big deal. You just go right click it, and then we're going to go place that. And there you go. We've now got our starter cottage, and there's nothing really to see here. We did kind of go over this in the tutorial. We do get a starter soul campfire, which is okay, but we do actually start with one in our inventory, so there's no real benefit there. We do get a furnace, which is not too bad, but it's super easy to make. We just need to grab some of the blackstone out there. And we do start with the chest, which, again, it's just a single chest, nothing super fancy there. The one resource that this one does provide that some of the other ones don't is going to be this little bit of gravel. Now, this is not super big. We don't need gravel for anything really early on in the game. Certainly 5 pieces is not going to make a huge difference. And it would be pretty easy to go down into the nether and, find, I think you can even see on that top map up there, I believe there's some gravel up in that top right corner. So it's fairly close to my starting area, but I would have to go down to the nether to get it. So this is a little bit of a bonus. So next up, we're going to take a look at the blood fountain deployable structure. And once again, we're going to go right click it, and then we're going to find a spot for it, and then right click it again. And there you go. We have now got ourselves a blood fountain. It is exactly what it says it is. It is a fountain of blood. Now, some of the cool features here is it is made out of quartz. There is a block of gold up in the middle, and you do get these rose cluster crystals that, kind of spawn around it, and a little bit of ichor crystal block. These are all kind of cool, but I think the main feature here is the blood. It is something that you're going to need later on in the game, but it's actually not too difficult to make it. Just a tinker setup, and, melting some netherrack will get you some blood. So that's why I feel like it might not be as useful as the remaining 2 structures. But that's going to be it for this one. Let's move on to the next structure. So after that, what I want to do is I want to look at the Piglin Obelisk. And then we're going to go right click and place it into our world. And there you go. Here is the Piglin Obelisk. Some cool features of it is we do get another soul campfire. We get 4 blocks of gold, which is, quite a bit to start. Some crying obsidian as well as some regular obsidian. A couple of netherrack gold, which isn't, super useful. But we do get an obsidian chest, which is a, massive chest, which I think just eyeballing it, it's 3 full chests worth. Actually, it might even be closer to 4 full chests worth, which is an absolute ton of storage. And then we also get a little bit of lava. The real cool thing here, though, is if we were to have placed this in a soul sand valley, we would actually be able to fish in there and get a couple of resources out of it. Now, one other thing to keep in mind, if you're having trouble placing this in your world, there's a good chance that you are too close to your spawn area. As a regular Minecraft game mechanic, you cannot place lava within the spawn zone. That's basically a safety feature to make sure that you don't accidentally spawn directly into lava. But that's enough about this one. Let's move on to the final structure. This is going to be the one that I think is going to be the most beneficial to give everybody a leg up in their game. So last but not least, it is the Lava Grotto Deployable Starter. And once again, we're going to go place this into our world. We can rotate this a bit. This one's a little bit bigger than some of the other ones, which is kind of cool. Oh, that one went further than I thought it was going to. But here you go. This is the Lava Grotto. So like the Piglin Obelisk, there is a little bit of lava involved in it, but we do get some of the Crimson Nylium. We get a starter Crimson Stem with a couple of Shroom Lights. It's not too tough to get these in your world. We can actually grow them right in our base there, at least the crimson ones. Now, the real cool feature about this structure is that it comes with something that you're going to require really early on in the game, and that's going to be Soul Sand, which is actually one of the beginner quests on the Dark Forest tab. Now, it is possible to craft Soul Sand in your world, but it's not the easiest thing to do. One of the easier things we could do would be take some of that lava from the Piglin Obelisk, place it in a Soul Sand Valley, and then do some fishing. One of those drops there is going to be the Soul Sand, which is exactly what we would be looking for. But probably our best way of getting this otherwise is to be going down into the nether and finding some natural Soul Sand, which shouldn't be too difficult, but it does require a trip down into the nether, and early game, we are not the best set up for that. So, which basically means an unarmored run down into the nether, hoping for the best. But that's going to be it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found this little showcase comparison useful. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.